Ten,
Stand by to take studio.
7, 6,
Stand by camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Sophia Chvojka.
And I'm SLOAN Kolotyluk. On today's show, Rattell gives us a look at the local Morinville business, Castle Building Supplies. Weiss talks to a medical expert about the rare disorder Battens disease, and MATTIAS kid takes us to the MCHS computer science class. But first, here's our top story.
2020 has been a year like no other at MCHS. With COVID-19 still ever present at the start of the new school year, things have to proceed in a very different fashion. Along with the rest of the world, MCHS has to follow many protocols to keep everyone safe and healthy while still learning and having fun. To bring us a report about the protocols in place, here is MCTV reporter Luke Robinson.
There's been a lot of changes since schools reopened. I'm here at MCHS to see what protocols have been made to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
All students and staff come in the morning and they throughout the course of their day, and they have their masks on for the most part. Sanitize as they either come into the building or before they get into their classes. And sanitize things as much as we can when we use those materials, whether it be a desk, whether it be a chair or whatever it is, or a lunchroom. And trying to make sure that we have that distance in between us as much as we can, considering we are a school of 520 plus kids.
All the protocols here are mandatory, but how do the students feel about them?
I find that they're fine. Like, I'm fine with always having to use hand sanitizer. Wearing a mask isn't that bad. And the only problem is when people walk outside and how they immediately take off their masks.
I feel like it's a lot more restricting with the masks and everything. I don't really mind it, but after a while it can get annoying. It's harder to hear everybody, so you can't get all the information across. So it's been a little harder in that way, but besides that, it's all right.
It's not really been affected. It's just a little bit different because you can't really do anything. They're kind of annoying because all you have to do is wear a mask. It keeps 6 feet away. Can't go anywhere after or anything.
Head to www.mchs.gsacre.ab.ca for more information about the COVID-19 protocols. For MCTV News, Luke Robinson reporting.
Welcome back. With Christmas just over a month away, it looks like winter has finally arrived for good. Here's MCTV meteorologist Weiss to let us know just how cold the next 7 days might get.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at Canada's forecast. Right now in Whitehorse, it's -18 with chance of flurries. Yellowknife, a low of -22. Iqaluit at a low of -12. Vancouver is 8 with a chance of raining, and -4 with flurries for Regina. Winnipeg is at a -2. Down in Toronto, it's at 12 right now. Well, I'm blocking it. Montreal is at a 7. Halifax at a 2, and St. John's at 0. My high level is at -13 with partial cloudies. Fort McMurray is at -10. Grand Prairie at -14. Edmonton -10. Jasper at -5. Red Deer with -10. Calgary at -8. Banff at -5, and Medicine Hat at -7. Currently in Morinville, it's -13 with wind coming from the northwest and cloudy. For Friday, it's cloudy with a -9. Saturday with a high of -2. Sunday with a high of -6. Monday with a high of -4 and cloudy. Tuesday with a high of -2. Wednesday with a high of -6 with flurries. Thursday with partially cloudy with -5s. Back to you guys.
Coming up next, Rattell brings us to a look at a keystone local business in Morinville. Located in the industrial park, Castle Building Supplies has been the choice for many in the region to obtain their lumber and other construction products. Here's a look.
I am here at Castle Building Supplies to ask employees about the store, what they do, and also what has changed in the store when this COVID-19 pandemic has started. I first asked employees why they decided to work at Castle Building Supplies.
It's a business that I've been in for many, many years. I know the owners very well, have a lot of respect for them, and wanted to spend some time working for them at the tail end of my career.
I've always worked in some form of the lumber industry, so this was a good fit.
I heard they're a good company to work for, and I needed a change from where I was at and decided this might be a good one.
Now I asked some different questions about the store itself.
Well, the people that own this store had bought it 3 years ago, and the company itself started about 20 years ago.
It was created to cater to a market that was underrepresented, and there was no place for the people of Morinville and Sturgeon County to buy unless you drove into St. Albert or into the city.
Finally, I asked about the effects of COVID on the store and how they feel about it.
Well, we've taken greater precautions to protect ourselves and our customers. If I were outside of my office right now and working with the public, I would be either wearing a shield or I would be wearing a mask.
We have to wear masks, but other than that, that's about it. We have upped all of our cleaning.
Certainly has made work a lot tougher with trying to keep things clean and sanitized, and just with people being kind of afraid of this whole COVID thing and just trying to deal with that.
This is a small look at Castle Building Supplies. For more information about the store, feel free to visit castle.ca or call 780-939-2440. For MCTV News, Sean Rattell reporting.
Welcome back. Here to give us a look at all the sports happening at the moment, here is our very own sports expert, Braden Lavoie.
Thanks, Sophia. In the NFL, Week 11 has some key matchups tonight. The 6-3 Cardinals take on the 6-3 Seahawks. On Sunday, some key matchups include the Tennessee versus Baltimore. The Packers take on the Colts, and the Super Bowl champion Chiefs take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Monday Night Football sees the Rams taking on Brady and the Bucs. The only two matches in Major League Soccer this week happen tomorrow evening, and New England battling the Montreal Impact and Nashville taking on Inter Miami. Coming up, next reporter MATTIAS Kidd give us this look at the computer science class offered in the Media Lab at MCHS. Students in this course learn basics of computer programming, including coding, game creation, and Java.
Computer science is a class where grade 10s, 11s, and 12s learn how to create games, code, and many other things. The class is especially interesting because not very many students set up. So all grade 10s, 11s, and 12s are all in the same class, and they all love it.
It's a really fun and interesting thing to learn, and that there's a lot going on. That every day is a new challenge. So we're constantly problem solving. It's just makes the time go by really quickly.
Coding in Java, learning about making games and small things like that.
Well, it's an AP class in the second year, so you're looking towards doing your AP exam to get a college credit early instead of paying for it at college. So it's a more on your own kind of course.
Students in computer science have a variety of favorite things.
Just being able to make something and see it work.
I really like history and theory, but I think the practical application of computer science is sort of the best. Figuring out what's going wrong, what's gone wrong, how to fix a problem, I think is the best part about computer science.
I might take it again just because it might be a cool skill to have, being able to make websites and stuff. So.
The students in computer science learn many opportunities, many life skills that they may use to their job in the future. They've coded, they've created games, and done many other things in this class. It provides many opportunities. For MCTV News, MATTIAS Kidd.
Here are your school announcements for Thursday, November 19th. Healthy Hunger is offering numbers of hot meals to MCHS students between now and Christmas break. Today it will be shumka Ukrainian food. Next Thursday, November 26th is Subway. And to finish it off on December 3rd, Mr. Sub will be available. If interested, you can sign up at healthyhunger.ca and get your hands on some delicious food during lunch hour. Looking for something to do at lunch? The Games Room is open in room 103 on Tuesdays and Thursdays only. Different Nintendo Switch games are available to play. There's limited spots and open, so be sure to come early. For these and all other school information, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging onto the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, or by following the school on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. As well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching MCTV Morinville.
This year's medical news has been dominated by the COVID-19 pandemic, but there are many other medical issues that are affecting the lives of numerous individuals worldwide. One of the lesser-known diseases is Battens, in which a defective gene triggers a cascade of problems that interferes with the cell's ability to recycle certain molecules. Reporter Dylan Weiss had a chance to talk to the family of a Battens patient and a medical expert about treatment options for those who suffer from this rare disorder.
Battens disease is a brain disorder that deteriorates the body over time. Here's Dr. Jeanette Malo with an explanation on how it works.
So it's called lysosomal storage disease because it's storing instead of getting rid of the stuff in lysosomes. And lysosomes are just one part of organelle in the cell. And because there is no enzyme, essentially something that should be breaking down in the lysosomes of the nerve cells is not breaking down. So instead it's accumulating.
Some of you may be wondering how someone can get Battens disease. Here's how.
It can be what is called new mutation. It's simply unlucky and only you have it on both sides of the DNA. So yeah, so it can be, so it's called autosomal recessive. It means that it's inherited in a recessive manner.
Madden is a 5-year-old boy with Battens disease. Here's his mother and sister explaining how they felt when they found out Madden had Battens disease.
So we found out December 12th of 2019. We were given a Batten diagnosis. We weren't given the exact type at that time. It took till early January to get the type. But we were devastated. We didn't know the disease existed until Madden's diagnosis.
Here, the Stacy's explain how Battens has affected their lives.
Madden was normal, growing normally as a 3-year-old would, and then all of a sudden he started losing abilities. Now we have to travel to Edmonton every 14 days for infusions. So our lives are completely different than they were pre-diagnosis.
Another question you may have is if there's any treatments for Battens. Here's Dr. Malo again with an answer.
Straight to the brain because it's a brain disease, right? And the idea is that is the enzyme that is problem. The enzyme that doesn't break down something, it's missing. So we want to give them the enzyme. But the enzyme is pretty big molecule. You cannot just swallow it because it would get degraded in your stomach and blood before it gets up to your brain. So the only way is to actually get it straight to the brain. There is what is called port in the ventricle of the brain, and we are infusing the treatment, the enzyme, essentially the replacement enzyme, straight into the brain.
This is Dylan Weiss for MCTV News.
And that's it for another episode of MCTV News. Join us 1 week from today when our stories will include my look at local business SMS equipment, my co-hosts will look at the concerns of some Morinville residents to bring another set of streetlights to Main Street, and Ella Boissonneau introduces us to superworms. All of this plus sports and your 7-day weather forecast on Thursday, November 26th. So Sloan, when do you think is the best time to start listening to Christmas music?
December 1st, no time before.
No, I say November 1st, sometimes in October or July. I don't know, it really depends though.
I disagree. Christmas music should stay in December and only December.
Absolutely not. I say Christmas music every time of the year. From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Sophia Chvojka.
And I'm Sloan Kolotyluk. Thanks for tuning in.